Guys, sorry for my super crappy setup here with my crappy tripod. My other stand is broken at the moment. This FIRESTRIKE, I'm hoping, is going to get entered into a Reddit contest, and I know that you've missed my Nerf mods. We are going to get crazy with this one. I am going to unscrew this. I know, right? I never do that. I'm going to unscrew the whole thing, and then I'm going to work out what bits I can cut out. Many thanks to Alice Coatduck, who I just spoke to there on Messenger, and she's helped me with regards to what I can cut and what I can't cut. So big thumbs up to her. She's my internals Nerf guru. Time to unscrew it all. Okay guys, I've had to change camera and I've jury-rigged it so it's on an angle. It's not my usual straight thing. Can't do anything about that. Look, Angela took a Nerf gun apart and it didn't all explode. Woo woo. Now to work out what moves, what doesn't, and where I can do the things that I want to do. I'm just going to mark it with a marker pen. I'm going to cut here all the way to here. Thinking on my feet. Alright, I can cut that out. Here. Most of that, in fact. That's just a dart holder. You can see how neat I am when I'm thinking on my feet. That side, and I'm assuming the other side's the same, but I might just do one side. I might cut that whole thing out. Hopefully the structural integrity will hold with the Picatinny and the side and front, and I'm not completely destroying that by cutting so much. I'm going to hit that with a Dremel and cut all that out now, see how we go. Okay, I've done it. Now I'm just hoping it goes back together and it still pops when I press the trigger. I'll be neatening it up, obviously. I've just roughly done that. And all my followers that have followed me for ages are like, oh, well done, Angela, woohoo! And I'm like, oh, because I'm rubbish at doing this, as I always say. Anyone else who's a Nerf modder, internal Nerf modder, watching this is like, geez, get excited about a small thing, why don't you? To me, it's a big thing. This just shows if this works, any moron can do this, because Angela's done it. Yay! Yeah, neaten it up, and then I'll show you what madness we're going to do and why I've cut the holes out. We're just going to sand it a little and try and get rid of these rough edges, and then I'll probably get rid of that as well. You've seen sanding before. I'm just going to sand the whole thing, and I'll come back. I'll sand it on one side. I'm just concentrating on one side at the moment because if I don't cut out the other side, I'll just be leaving it, and then I'll sand the other side. I don't want anything to move. Okay, now the real work begins. Now what I'm hoping to do is make this look like internal organs, which sounds weird, but as I said at the start of the video, I think I'm doing it for a competition, and I think the competition was something like, why would you do that? Well, no reason, just thought it would be cool. I'm going to do this with some foam, try and make it fit in there, and then when it pops out here, it will look like this is some kind of biology going on in the inside. My usual favorite material is the closed cell foam. So this is the thin craft foam stuff. I might make this look a little muscly by carving in some sort of muscle lines, some sinew, just so that if any of this is popping through, it won't just be flat. It will look like it's got some texture to it. I'm going to do that the easiest way, which is to get a knife and then cut, but don't cut all the way through. You just want to cut a little bit of the way through. Muscle sinew is quite similar to doing wood grain. Sort of curves now and again. As I say, this is just for texture, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Hopefully most of this will actually be covered once things are underway. Someone with anatomy skills watching me going, that doesn't look anything like muscle structure. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'll hit that with the heat gun and I'll be right back. Hopefully you can see that now. It's brought it up a little. Once it's painted, it will bring it up even more. And now when I glue it in, I need to make sure I'm not getting in the way of anything that's moving or any screw holes. This isn't so much a tutorial, by the way. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go along. This is more of just a mod walkthrough. hopefully there'll be something helpful in here for one of your mods. Maybe you want to make a gutsy blaster too. It would look wicked on a big blaster. Any errors can be fixed, by the way, don't worry. It's going to look quite messy at the end because it's going to look like guts, hopefully. Might do something weird down here, like some eyes or something maybe. Creepy eyes. Now with the foam cutoff that I've got there, that's quite good. And it doesn't matter how messy this is because once it's painted, it should look like gross bones type thing. So I'm just cutting this like to 2 mil. I'm going to stick it over. Well, I've cut it now, so if it doesn't work, I'm just trying to shorten this so it'll push that eye forward, which I think will look wicked cool. And I might change this so that it doesn't have eyes anymore. Blood red eye. Guts and intestines. There. Sticking out far enough, I think, if I glued that in. Guts. It'll look better when it's painted, obviously. I have done the skin for inside and the bones. I just cut some scrap bits of foam. So ribs over that sort of muscle bit that we did. Some intestine bits, fat and whatnot. I looked that up. That's the order that it goes in. Bit of a pelvis here and a leg leading down to the grip. So it should sit in there like that. I'm actually going to glue it into this and not into the other side, so I'm going to need to cut it to rejig it, but I think it'll look better sticking out a bit as with this one here. But it's getting there, guys. I think once it's all glued in, obviously it's going to look better when it's painted as well. You'll be able to tell what it is. At the moment it just looks sort of like, I don't know, a big black mess, I guess. Well, that's it all glued in. If I can get it back on. A bit of a botch here. I'm going to cover that with one of these, which is like a kiddie safe electrical plug. You plug it in. I've just snipped the electrical bits off where they've gone. I'm just going to glue that over there. It's a nice fit for the little Nerf logo that was there. Nearly ready to hopefully put it back together. Fingers crossed. I believe that's correct. Laugh away, my friends, laugh away. I'll put some red cellophane over that so it's red. I've got no dexterity because of the sheer amount of super glue on me. Oh, fingers crossed, I hate this part. This will be a squeeze. Let's see. Uh-oh, I see a spring. What have I forgotten? Just thought what that little spring might be. No idea how I missed that. What a dope. Oh, so annoying. All right, now to do it again. I've just filled the front with some foam so that I can glue 2 extra eyes on. It's all back together. Seems to be working fine, so I can't complain given I'm an amateur. Wee spot of glue, and I'm going to go for yellow just because they're super creepy. I've got a thing about yellow eyes. Big yellow eyes in a horror movie, it freaks me out. Like American Werewolf in London or Salem's Lot. Any of those movies that use the yellow eye thing. Super creepy. See that? And the red glow is on both sides, so that's pretty cool. Next up, sand this side, tape off the eyes and the lights, and prime it, basically. Okay, I've tried to set my camera up a little better. Still a bit shonky. Just got it with the black base coat all done. I've forgotten to tape the lights, so I'll need to scrape that out at the end, but no biggie. Just gonna hit it with some dry brush silver. If you haven't seen one of my videos before, paint on, paint off, and then lightly across whatever grain you're doing. So I'll just do a little bit here and then I'll time lapse it for those who already know this technique. There, you can see it starts to come out. I'll just do that all over, maybe a couple of times. You know, I was doing it silver there and I thought, this doesn't feel right. I've changed my mind. I'm going to do it in a flesh color. think that will set off the muscle and whatnot even better. So this will be weird. Let's see how it goes. I've only done that lightly, so I'll just go over it with the flesh. No drama for what I've already done. You could respray it black if you're worried, but meh. I have no idea what colours you mix to make flesh, so I'm just going to mess about until we get that kind of skin tone colour. Okay, back to dry brushing it again. You probably noticed that I ended up taping off certain areas. I didn't want the whole thing to be flesh. I think it needs a little something to make it pop. But I've done the main shielding, so this side will be normal and this side will be there. Now to start doing some detail work, I'm probably just going to leave that like that. I'm thinking of calling it Jekyll and Hyde. So one side's normal when you look at it, and then the other side's like, oh my god, what is happening here? So I'm going to start with the intestines down here, and I'm going to do those like a pink colour. I'm going to go with this one, which is just pink. Just remembered some of this needs done as well in pink, so I may as well just tape it off now. Bit of red. Get in there at the in-betweeny bits. Sorry, I know I'm not saying much, but I'm probably going to edit it all together so it's shorter for you guys. You can see what I'm doing, just some little details. I'll probably put some ink over it as well at the end, just to get into all the crevices. Can't remember what colour these cells were in the picture that I looked at, but I'm just going to do them in yellow just to pop them away from those. Ta-da! It's still a tiny bit pink, so I'm just going to leave that to dry, and then I'll come back and do some more white over it. Untape it and slap some inks on. I'm going to do a little bit of silver, hopefully without hitting everything else. And then I'll hit this with ink, and I think we are done. Oh, I might scare up these eyes a little as well. Now I'm just going to make up a little bit of ink, and we do that with some black acrylic and some water, and then just wash it over and then wipe it off. I'm just going to do this bit here. Hopefully it'll make it pop a little bit more and sort of dull off the bright pink. Okay, I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then we're going to use some PVA to gloss up certain areas. I've just coated everything in PVA other than the bones, so they'll still be matte, and hopefully everything else will be a little bit glossy when it dries. Even just a little bit. The eyes have totally botched thanks to this crappy glue that I've used, so I may just peel all that off. Just going to wait for that to dry, and then we'll fix up any little touch-ups. There we go. I think we're pretty much finished. The gloss added a nice little sort of gooey texture to things. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. It's nice and shiny. Left these matte. I've just gone around and fixed a few mistakes. The eyes completely botched. I'm going to need to scratch them back and redo them, but other than that, it's finished. Fix the light so that you can see it on both sides. See it at the front. There we go. That's our biological fire strike. Hopefully you find it pretty gross. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, stick around and subscribe. I love doing weird mods. If you like this blaster, give it a like, and if I've inspired you in some way and you are made of money, head over to my Patreon page. I put sneak peeks and things up there. That's it for this build. Nerfenstein out.